D.C. He's referring to the most dangerous communities, neighborhoods, and streets in the city where, unfortunately, violence has ravaged these communities and taken the lives of, again, far too many law-abiding D.C. residents. We know on July 5th of this year, just more than a month ago, a 3-year-old beautiful young girl was shot and killed in her car with her family in one of these communities, which is why there has been a surge, despite what many of you have been falsely reporting. And I believe it was the Washington Post who put out a map claiming it to be fact-based when it was just based on, I don't know, accounts that they've heard on the street, not actual statistics and data. So we went and reconfigured the numbers, and as I said, nearly half of all the non-illegal alien-related arrests have occurred in wards 7 and 8 in the District of Columbia, where we know, excuse me, there's the highest rate of crime.
This is Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders to taught me this truth and sincerity. Also bringing peace and blessings to you elect out there that's pushing this truth to the four corners of the globe. And salutations to you brothers and sisters that are coming back to the Heavenly Father, which his name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, which his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so of course, as you can see in the video, this is how Esau, this is his MO. Okay, this is what how he portrays himself. So I noticed in the video, she said, something about the District of Columbia, which that is a sector in Washington, D.C. that has its own like city, state, like they have their own set of rules in the District of Columbia. That's highly controlled by the government. All right. And like I said, when you do any research on the District of Columbia, it's not really a part of the state of Washington, D.C. So anyway, so as you can see, they're mainly talking about they're talking about Jakes, all right, in the urban areas, or like we like to say in the hood. This is who they're going after. This is who they're targeting. So they make it sound good, They put icing and glitter around their words to make it sound like they're cleaning up the community, all right, and cracking down on crime, which this has happened before. I think back in the 80s, all right, the war on drugs or something like that. That who spearheaded that? I think it was the Biden administration through the Clintons who orchestrated that. I might be a little off on that, but the point is they play the same tricks. So a lot of Jakes are gonna be put to death or thrown into these private prisons because of this. They're coming down on us. All right, and you can see the hatred. All right, the perpetual hatred. These people portray themselves to be righteous. They call themselves white. All right, they call us black, which white is clean. It represents purity. It represents innocence. It represents righteousness, and then the dark or black represents normally we're painted as villains. All right, we're painted as bad guys. All right, and then another thing too, you got to remember, they placed us in these urban areas. They put us in these hoods. All right, the slums. So, just wanted to do something quick and put that information out there. I'll play the video again, and but you can just see the wickedness.
Was he talking about tents or permanent residential buildings?
First, when it comes to what you said and the president said, the slums of Washington, D.C., he's referring
The slums of Washington, D.C. And then you see the lady smiling. So
to the most dangerous communities, neighborhoods, and streets in a city where, unfortunately, violence has ravaged these communities and taken the lives of, again, far too many law-abiding D.C. residents. We know on July 5th of this year, just more than a month ago, a 3-year-old beautiful young girl was shot and killed in her car with her family in one of these communities, which is why there has been a surge.
and for all we know, this could have been orchestrated by them. They could have did this. This might be fake news. Keep going.
Despite what many of you have been falsely reporting, and I believe it was the Washington Post who put out a map claiming it to be fact-based when it was just based on, I don't know, accounts that they've heard on the street, not.
And then, of course, those who do their independent research, they want to discredit them and say that it's not based in facts and stuff. Now, if somebody went out and did independent research or a survey, and they actually went out in the community and gathered information and gathered facts, what's wrong with that? What is the issue with that? These people want to portray us like we're just wicked, like we're just the scum of the earth, like we're just brutal. All right, but let's look at history. Let's look at all the wicked stuff that these Edomites have done. This country. All right, we use this country as an example. This belonged to the Native Americans, and they raped, robbed, and murdered them.
Actual statistics and data. So we went and reconfigured the numbers, and as I said,
like she said, they went and reconfigured the numbers. They didn't do any research. They just went and reconfigured the numbers.
Nearly half of all the non-illegal alien-related arrests have occurred in wards 7 and 8 in the District of Columbia, where we know.
All right. Well, I hope this short lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, get the honor to the apostles and elders who taught me this truth with sincerity. Also give peace and blessings to you elect out there just pushing this truth to the four corners of the globe. Shalom.